What's up, YouTube? This is Ultimate Shield 340 back at it again with another Division 2 video. So, the Manning National Zoo is a legendary I have yet to complete. I was fortunate enough to join this group when they were at the final boss, which, spoiler alert, it's not a good sign, but I actually did not really think about that. I just figured somebody dropped off, and, I'm just here to go ahead and pick up the extra spot. So first things first, this is a Vile Jammer build. I am marking enemies with the blue screen, and I am able to heal myself using my chem launchers, as well as also proc the status effect with the blue screen effect. I am at this point deciding to just try and mark as many enemies as I can and then jam whenever it is available so that I can go ahead and knock down any electronics and keep those grenadiers from killing us. So after getting myself out of the way, I notice one of my teammates goes down and I'm able to pick him up. Part of the problem here is that I did watch one of my fellow YouTubers who I follow. His name is Ronan Kazi, and he gave some great tactics here on this legendary. And I wish whenever I was playing this, I had remembered some of his tactics, because it gets pretty dicey, and you'll see why. So at this point, I'm just trying to, just use the Vile Jammer effect, put pressure on the enemy team, hit those status effects using the Jammer, and then using the Vile Mass Toxic Delivery to have that kick in, and then proc tag team whenever I can. So the good news about this build is because it does actually come with a whole bunch of repair skills. So one chem will actually heal me up to full, and then it's also very good as well, because then I can also heal my teammates, as you see me attempt to do here, back to full. But of course I missed, and I'm able to hit him, and I probably didn't need a second one, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to sort of just top him off as far as the health is concerned. So better be safe than sorry, rather in these legendaries. So we do that. I'm continuing to pulse and proc tag team, and me and my teammates, we're just trying to kill all the ads. So the good news is that once you kill the first set of ads, the game will alert you to where, or at least most of the ads, the game will alert you to where the last ad is, which is that sniper that's all the way in the distance. So I'm feeling pretty good about things, so I reposition to try and maybe get a few shots off, but maybe I can hit him with a Vile Jammer, but unfortunately I'm unable to. No big deal, and I try and kill him. Now I did not know those ads would be coming out of that door like that. I should have stayed up top where I was at and played this encounter as if I had never seen it before, because I haven't. And so I am not playing very wise, but good news, I wasn't able to, I didn't go down or anything, and I spoke too soon. I did get smoked there. I did go down. What originally I was just saying, I didn't go down whenever the ads came from behind that door, and I was able to sort of recover very quickly. So at this point, I'm just trying to, kind of keep this guy locked down, the Johnny 5. Then I come up the steps and I realize we are surrounded, and there's nowhere for me to go. I go down the steps, I get shot, or I stay up here and I get shot, and there's really nowhere else for me or our teammates to go. So luckily enough, I believe we are able to kill some of the ads, relieve some of the pressure, and then my teammate here is able to res me, as you see here. So teammates going down, I'm still over here just trying to kill this tank Johnny 5 type thing, and then hopefully I'm going to be able to res my teammate. But in the meantime, we are catching grenades. We're getting exploded on. The dogs are around us. I'm just taking explosion after explosion after explosion after explosion after explosion. I'm able to heal up using the repair chem, and at this point, it's like, hey, I need to get out of this position and just sort of give myself a little bit of breathing room. So I run over here and try and pulse and try and maybe build a few stacks on blue screen and see what I can do to sort of, get myself out of this situation and my friends. And unfortunately, at this point, I'm surrounded. So that was bad across the board, and we were. it was very tough. So I decided I wanted to maybe try a little bit something different, and this is where you see me switch my build around to something else. So here you'll see me equip my all skill build. Ronan Kazi has a similar build that he uses where he will use the turret and sometimes Seeker Mines. This is my build that I use. This is what I typically will use. Hey, this is, we need more damage, and this is my skill build that I will use for that. So I switch builds, and then we'll go into the next encounter. So at this point, what I do is I come over here and I'm going to set up my turret and my drone. So the idea here is that it's going to protect the flank. The turret is going to be up high so we can shoot down enemies who are, even behind cover, and protect this flank. So my main hand, I have my capacitor, and then the secondary is the harmony, which is the perfectly instinct, which will give me the increased skill damage. And so that's what I'm using here. Now, the downside to this build that I didn't really consider before I put it on was that it does use a memento backpack. And one of the tactics that was discussed again by Ronan Kazi was that, the backpack is a great addition to a build, but if you're not able to get the kills or pick up the trophies, it's not really going to do you a whole bunch of good. And that's what the problem is for me in this this place. One of the knee pads that I have, I was able to get the Emperor's Knee Guard, so I do have a little bit of armor regen. It's only just 1%, which isn't anything considering everything else. If I had it fully stacked up, I would have 4% armor regen on the build, which actually does do a great deal to help you get back into the fight very quickly. So, but unfortunately, I don't have that. So, at this point, I don't believe I'm going to be able to get a whole bunch of stacks on my capacitor, so I switch over to the harmony. All I need is one bullet to get the maximum benefit from the talent, and it doesn't matter what I shoot as long as it's an enemy. And I do that here, and you will see the procs down at the bottom go off, and then I'm getting that increased skill damage using my skills. So I talk a lot about this using, there was a video I had made about the second weapon, and this is exactly what I mean. It's great to have the capacitor, and I think it's great that you have it, and it is going to do more damage skill based once you're able to fully stack it. But if you're not able to get out of cover to even get, more than a few shots off at once, then what good is the capacitor? So that's why harmony is the secondary weapon in there, and I'm able to get some benefit from it, even though I have to be a little bit more conservative and be behind cover. So at this point, my idea is that, I'm going to go and focus in this area right here and just try and either knock down high priority targets, send my drones and my turrets over there, and then also then protect this flank as well. So as you see, I get smoked, and somebody's ability comes on, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go down if I keep being out there in cover. So again, I switch weapons. So that's what I do, and I am able to hit some of these shots, but my skills aren't out, so I deployed that.
I'll fix you up, don't
So as you can see, we are able to, we're getting close to the end. Those yellow arrows come up, and I take this opportunity to maybe catch a few trophies using the momental stacks. And again, I'm doing that same thing again, where I don't know where they're going to come out from or when, and it just so happens they were able to kill that last ad, and then the next wave comes out of the door. Now, I actually messed up right there, and I double pressed the button, so I actually wasn't meant to jump over that. But then I realized now not only am I in a bad position, but that dog has now walked up the steps, and now I need to kind of reposition and get myself back up there. In both of these instances, I was lucky enough to not uh, get killed or take any damage from all of that. But just be careful because, again, don't do what I did. Part of the reason why I show you both my successes and my failures is so that you can maybe learn from my mistakes. And it was good that I was able to get over that. But yeah, just be careful, especially if you've never played the content before and you don't really know what to expect. Just try and be a little bit more conservative than you normally would. So, just as a suggestion. So again, using Harmony, procking that talent perfectly in sync, and letting our skills and everything go to town. So it was at this point, Ronan Kazi made a great point. If you have the technician specialization, you can go ahead and you have the MP grenades, which I use to CC this drone, or not drone, the dog, to make sure that he doesn't keep getting up and shooting at us. So that's exactly what I do. Again, that's an excellent tactic, and that's another thing that I don't think that we use too often in the division. We don't use grenades enough, so try and expand my arsenal and try and use that whenever I have that available. So you should probably try and do the same. Now, here, as you notice, you see those, I guess, icons above the remaining enemies, and that sort of signals you that this is the end of this wave of enemies. So we're going to go ahead and try and knock them down, and then the next wave comes out. And as you can see, first thing I do is I try and, prioritize attacking the dogs. I actually really hate the dogs because they just seem to have a whole lot of health, and they don't care about getting shot at. You can't stun them like you would like a normal enemy, where even if, like, say, a shotgun person was there rushing you, if you just shoot them in the face, they will actually I guess, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, I guess they'll stagger. That's what it is. They'll actually stagger, and you can actually get them to stop shooting you, and that's a great thing to use in the event that you get rushed. But you can't use that same kind of tactic whenever you're fighting against the dog. So that's something that you just it sucks, especially if they run up the steps and they come up behind us. Like, they'll just run all the way around us, and we will be out of cover and we'll be in big trouble. So I try and prioritize those as fast as possible. So at this point in time, we are doing fairly well, I would say. Although things are starting to get hairy here and there, we are able to continue to sustain damage and put pressure on the enemy team, and we are just trying to clear the content. So next wave is about to show up, as you can see here, and we're just gonna keep trying to get those guys to fall and things like that. So keep in mind, again, I don't know how this is gonna go. I this is the first time I have sort of even gotten this far, and I only got this far because I joined in at the whenever these guys are already in here. So I don't really know what to expect. So Um, I'm just trying to stay close to my teammates and just use, just be in cover and let my teammates and my skills kind of do what we can do to help us overcome. So here's a great opportunity to use that specialization weapon, which I go ahead and I use. There's a lot of electronics down there, so why not use it to your benefit, especially if you're trying to get those dogs down ASAP. With the specialization that I have, not only do you get the EMP grenades, but you also get that signature weapon that's going to help you get bonus damage to those skills, and the talent that you get from the skill tree itself is going to also increase the damage that you do. So, you want to kind of keep that in mind. At this point, I'm getting, hidden with explosions and grenades, and I actually misclick where I like get back into cover where I meant to like actually roll out of the way. But luckily for me, teammate picks me up, and I am at this point. That's when I realize I am out of heal kits. So again, I'm in a position where I don't have. Not only do I not have my heal kits, but then I also don't really have a whole bunch of regeneration because I haven't been able to pick up the backpack for the memento stacks. And as I said earlier, before one of these dogs like kind of come up here, and now it's a gigantic problem for all of us to sort of focus on. While then this challenge comes up, the hives are going out, and now we are now being pushed by the enemy team. So I'm hoping that we can go ahead and burn all these people down, and we can get these guys down real fast and be able to go back to pressuring the enemy team so that they don't keep coming up here to shoot us in the back and kind of make us worry. So another thing I want to mention is pay attention to the sound. You'll hear it right about now. Yep. So if you hear that sound where it's like, and this other sound that you'll hear, that where it will come in and you hear like that, I don't know what to call it, but it's that sound where the grenade is being shot out of the gun. Make sure that make sure that you're aware of that. Make sure that you hear those skills that are coming your way. They will explode in your face if you're not careful. Just pay attention to the sound, because sometimes I've been in situations where I'm able to sort of get myself out of trouble before it becomes a huge issue, because I noticed and I listened to the sound on the TV that somebody was coming out of a door right behind me. So that's something else to think about. Speaking of coming out of a door behind me, guess who it is? It's the boss. And so again, we're in a kind of a bad position. Again, I don't know what to expect, and now we are burning down this boss as quickly as we can. So everybody's focusing on this boss. Now keep in mind though, those are ads and everything that are still out there in the field, and so all four of us are focusing the boss, and the ads that are out there in the field are still shooting at us, and they're still kind of doing what they are going to do to surround us. So I'll let you see kind of what's going on as well. So I'm gonna let the rest of the game play out. I just want to go ahead and say thanks again for everybody who watches the content, and I really appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch. I appreciate you, and thank you for all that you do. So this is Ultimate Shield 340 signing out, and I'll let you see if we are successful or not. Peace.
Serious trauma detected. Agent down. Agent vital signs 0.